Oh, fantastic, that thumbnail. This is weird watching myself. Hey!
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Susan.
Okay.
I think I see Josh. Yep.
Let me just open some stuff up.
Okay. We are broadcasting. I'm just setting up this backup camera, and I think the mic's set. And I'll just pull up the questions. Hold on.
Yeah, I have the notes up, or some of the notes. And I'm just gonna keep track of some stuff here too. I like the polka dots in your room.
Yeah, they've been up for a while. I've been like sort of planning to change them, but I like them too.
Mm.
Oh, Josh disappeared.
No. Can you hear us?
I don't know. Oh, there he's back. Josh, we can see you, but we can't hear you.
I'm like in my bed right now. This is really awkward.
Yeah, you're on kind of like a high angle.
Because I don't want to show you my pajamas. You can clearly see, still in PJs.
I see. Okay, hold
Gonna
on.
put some stuff behind me. Get some cushioning.
Oh, gone again.
Yep.
I don't know. We always have this issue at the beginning. Oh, wait. No, I can't hear you.
I'm so angry.
Has your like mic's preferences set? That's always a problem with mine, is my sound preferences are coming out of the right spot. Oh. um, Hold on. I can hear Susan, so I don't think it's anything on my end.
Yeah.
Um, Mic isn't muted. Oh, hold on.
Let me screen capture this event.
Yeah, I've got it so that it'll broadcast to my channel, so that's kind of like what we'll use in the video, and then
I can
I've
like
also
screen I can like take footages of the actual conversation right now. I have screen capture.
oh yeah, that might be a nice backup if that works
Yeah.
for you, if it doesn't like
I'm gonna
overlay.
set it up right now.
Okay.
So,
And then yeah, Josh has a microphone, so I've got him to record it on his end, so we'll have better audio than Google Hangouts, and it's also a good backup.
okay. Okay, so I'm recording the screen right now.
Okay, cool.
So let me double check if I'm recording the audio too. Yeah, and to unmute the audio. Okay. Still recording, yep.
There we
Oh
go.
no, using too much battery. I might need to move to my table.
Oh no, you can do that now if you want.
No, you can't see my pajamas!
Just hold the laptop up high.
Okay, maybe I might actually need to. Crap.
No.
Check.
Oh, there we
Check.
go.
Why the heck doesn't my mic work on my laptop? Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Okay,
Morning.
I'm gonna plug this in real quick.
Yep. I'm glad it worked now.
How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Check.
Oh,
Okay, cool. I'm recording my audio now.
sweet. Nice microphone. Is that the what one is that?
Audio Technica ATR 2100.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
supposed to be sending this mic to Hannah
Oh.
for the podcast because she didn't have a mic,
Oh.
but I have not done it yet.
Obviously.
For another one because I end up kind of like right now I end up using it every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of it looks like a sort of versatile one. I know Joanna just bought one and it seemed pretty good. And it sounds good, especially for the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
How much are these right now?
I need to invest in one. So far I've just been using school stuff, so I have like a shotgun, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
I've never had a mic like this before, but it's nice just for like stuff like this where like the quality doesn't really matter, but like if you need it, you have it.
Yeah. I know. I wanna get one, I think, at some point. I know someone mentioned to me the blue as well, so I've sort of been comparing the two.
Yeah.
Or the Yeti or something.
Yeah, I mean that one sounds better for sure. Uh, but
Okay,
you
I'm
can't
back.
like you can't like move it around and do stuff with it like this one.
Yeah. Okay, Susan, are you good?
Oh,
Yeah,
geez, it's only
sorry,
52
my
bucks right
leg
now.
went,
No,
and then
that's
I had
okay.
to like scramble around for a bit.
That's okay. Okay, I guess we can just get started then, if that works for everybody.
It sure does.
Okay, perfect. I'll just start recording here. So first, Susan, Josh, Susan, we're in group together and friends at school.
Hello,
Um,
Susan. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Sorry they had to see me in like my PJs first thing in the morning after I woke up.
Hey man, I'm in my PJs too. It's all good.
Okay, so I guess we can just start. We can just go through the questions, have a conversation about YouTube.
Sweet.
So if you want to introduce yourself and what you do on YouTube, such as like how long you've been on YouTube and what made your popularity pick up and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, my name is Josh Taylor. I co-run a YouTube channel called Blimey Cow that my brother and my sister and I started in 2005. Or I guess we technically started the YouTube channel in 2006, but before that we were on Google Video, which was a thing before Google bought YouTube. And excuse me. And so we kind of just did sort of like mockumentary style, like The Office style videos when we first got started because that show was new and that was like our favorite show. And so we did that for several years, and we started another show called Jordan's Messages, which was sort of an offshoot of Strong Bad Emails, which we really liked Homestar Runner. So we basically just found ways to do. We found cheap ways to do shows that we liked online and on TV. And so we did those things for several years. I went to school and got engaged and stuff, and we kind of stopped making the videos for a while Jordan was finishing up high school and stuff. And so there was a couple of years where we didn't really make many videos, and that was between like 2008 and 2010, and then Kelly and I got married in 2010, and we kind of at that point had stopped making videos. But I quit my job about like 3 months after getting married and started working for my dad, which meant I could work from home, and so I had a little bit more flexible time to like work on video stuff. So Kelly wanted a nice like picture camera, and I wanted a camera that could take video, and so we got a Canon 7D, and I started kind of screwing around with it and seeing what I could do with it. And within the next year or so, we had the idea to start a show called Messy Mondays, which would be like a weekly show where we just pick a topic and talk about it, and Jordan could like answer emails and stuff. And so we started that show in August of 2011, And then in January of the next year, we did a video called Seven Lies About Homeschoolers, and it kind of blew up and got like 1 million views in the first month and stuff. And so all of a sudden, we had a bunch of people watching our channel, and we kind of kept growing rapidly from there. We're just still kind of riding that success, I guess. And now it's like, I guess 4 years later, five, yeah, 4 years later, and we're still just doing that show and doing it every week, and um, still doing like Jordan's messages sometimes, and working on other projects. Like we did Brother Brother Time Season 2, which was kind of like a continuation of that mockumentary style format that we started the show with. And yeah, I guess that's most of it. The end.
Very cool story. I always like hearing that because it's over such like a long period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one. How has YouTube impacted your career / your life?
Oh man, quite a bit, I guess. I mean, I quit my job at the beginning of. I quit my job working with my dad. So the second time I quit my job, and I did that at the beginning of 2015. So I've been self-employed, just doing the YouTube Blimey Cow stuff since January of 2015. So it's been a little over a year now, and it's still going well. And we're bringing in enough through various means that we are, able to keep a few people, living decently comfortably and all of that. And so that's been really good. So I mean, yeah, without YouTube, I'd be working somewhere, I guess, probably kind of miserable, because I never really enjoyed the only job I really enjoyed for a long period of time was working with my dad, and that was mostly because I got to work from home and also work with my dad, so I got to chat with him a lot and stuff like that. But it wasn't like something I was passionate about doing or anything like that. It was mostly just the benefits of it were what I liked about it. But now, I'm kind of getting to enjoy the benefits of working for myself, but also I'm, like this past weekend, like Kelly, my wife, and I sat around like just coming up with Christian pickup lines for like 3 hours, and it was like, man, I'm getting paid to do this basically. So like this is a pretty cool gig that we got going on. So yeah, it's impacted my life quite a bit.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, that's really cool. That Christian pickup lines video was so good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. What opportunities has YouTube provided you? You kind of answered this. And also, if you want to look like at the camera, we can use some of the video.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
I
all
thought
good.
it was just for audio. I'll look at the camera. Do you want me to re-answer anything I've already talked about or anything?
Doesn't matter. I mean, what you said the first time was good, so we can just keep going.
Okay. Okay. So the question is how has what was it? I'm sorry.
What opportunities has YouTube provided you?
Oh, okay. Well, YouTube has provided me a really good creative outlet to kind of like become a better writer and writing funny stuff, and also kind of getting to write like dramatic stuff too. Some of Brother Brother Time Season 2 wasn't all entirely funny. So it's given me a lot of opportunities with that. It's given me opportunities from a business end to kind of like learn the ins and outs of like how the media industry sort of works, the video industry, and how it's changing a lot over the last decade. And how like YouTube channels are kind of like sort of in the forefront of that change happening. So it's kind of interesting being a part of an industry that is changing so much and kind of getting to like be a part of it, but also subvert it at the same time. So it's kind of a cool thing. I feel like until it's all said and done, and maybe it will never be said and done because of the way things change so quickly now. But I feel like in the next like 20 or 30 years, we'll be able to look back in hindsight and kind of assess like what happened in the early 2000s and like now going into like the teens of the 2000s, and kind of have a better idea of like what the overall theme of it was, because right now like it's hard to kind of decipher what is actually happening. It's just everything is changing so quickly every year. Things are different. But it's just cool to be a part of that, and so in like 20, 30 years to be able to kind of look back and like tell like younger generations like, hey, this is what was happening and we had no idea at the time, but this is where it was going, and we were kind of a part of that evolution, and so that's kind of cool. So that's one of the cool things about kind of getting to be like a YouTuber with some kind of following online, is because you kind of get to be at the forefront of that change. And so yeah, creatively it's provided some cool benefits, and from a business perspective it has as well.
Okay.
Very cool. So do you have the questions up, Susan?
I'm recording the screen, so I'm afraid of like moving anything during the
Okay.
footage.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got like 4 backups, so like unless the computers catch on fire, like we're good.
My computer is pretty loud. Like it is just like.
I think my end is actually recording what you guys are saying too. So
Oh, okay.
I've got a copy of it too.
Sweet. All right, so yeah, we're definitely good. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Pros and cons of using YouTube to create and post content.
Well, lots of pros and very few cons, I would say. YouTube is like the biggest social network that actually like compensates people that create content for it. And a lot of people complain about how much that amount is or whatnot, but the fact still remains that like, you don't get paid for Facebook posts or anything unless you work out a deal with a specific company. Like Facebook doesn't do it natively. Twitter doesn't do that. But YouTube does, because they actually sell advertising specifically, like kind of on your videos or whatever, and so that's a really cool benefit of it. Now that said, you need to have kind of accrued a lot of views or whatever to see any kind of substantial amount of money for that. But the fact remains that it's there for you if you get to that place. So yeah, definitely financially. The interface is super easy, and they keep kind of improving it and making it better for uploading videos. You have a lot of options. They have music on there that you can use, so that you don't have to use copyrighted music on your videos, so that you can keep them monetized. I don't know. There's a lot of good reasons to do it, and obviously, there's just a ton of people on YouTube looking for content, so it's good for that. In terms of cons, I guess the main one would just be if you end up sort of in like the YouTube twilight zone of like one of your videos getting flagged for some reason by some bot, and then you end up with like a strike on your account that you got to try and get rectified. And this has happened to friends of mine that like shoot like movie reviews and stuff like that, and so they use some footage which could be argued falls under fair use or whatnot. And I don't know what the fair use laws are in Canada, but in the United States, basically, if you are using video content for like review or for parody or stuff like that, you're technically allowed to use other people's content, but you can't just like straight upload it. But there's a lot of like nuance to that, and so a lot of people like argue a lot about what fair use means and stuff like that. But anyway, so with all that said, unless you're a channel like ours where we don't use really anybody's content for anything and we never get flagged for anything like that, if you are doing movie reviews or anything like that, you could easily get flagged and end up in this cycle where your videos aren't being monetized for a while and stuff like that. So that's the main con. And I mean, if you're not doing like movie reviews or something like that where you're using other people's content, you don't even have to worry about that. So
Okay.
Yeah, we get that too a lot. I had a video flagged because I had a song in the background. I'm like, this is a wedding video.
Classic.
So annoying.
Yeah, it's a pain, and it's always really picky.
Mhm.
Next one. So describe the community around your content. Like, where are they from? Has it surprised you how big it's gotten, impacted you? Well, just that sort of topic.
Okay. So generally just about the community.
Yeah.
So our community around our videos is like really, really cool. They're all really great people, and like we are complimented on how nice our commenters are. Like a lot. Like anytime I'm with other YouTubers and they've seen our videos, they're like, "Man, I scroll through your comments and like everybody is so nice and kind to each other on there." And you just don't see that on YouTube, and so I think that's really cool. And I kind of take pride in that our community is so like cordial and uh, kind to each other and to other people online. And so they've been great. We have this Patreon campaign where basically people can kind of support us on a monthly basis, and uh, people have been really cool and great on there, and that not only has kind of become that's not only just a financial support for us every month, even though that's like a really great thing that it is, but it's also kind of become this cool community. Like, we're planning a meetup later this year, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So a bunch of people are coming down to Nashville to hang out for a few days, and so that's going to be a blast. So it's just a really cool thing. Kind of at some point I realized that the people that are our patrons on that website, at some point we didn't have to like post stuff in order for them to be like chatting with each other, and so over the last year or so, a lot of them have become really good friends, and so it's exciting because I feel like we're doing this meetup or whatever in later this year, and I feel like a lot of the appeal of it isn't just, hey, we're gonna go hang out with Blimey Cow. It's that, hey, we're all gonna go meet our friends that we've gotten to know over the last year or so on Patreon. So that's really cool, and I'm really excited about that. And so yeah, it's been a really cool thing, and they've been super loyal, and they've stuck with us for years now. And we have people that have watched us since our videos first blew up. We have people that have watched us since even before then that still stick around and stuff. Or kids that have grown up with our videos or whatever, talk about like, man, I was in junior high and now I'm getting ready to start college and I still watch your videos, stuff like that. So it's just really cool.
Yes, I can vouch for that community.
Yes.
Oh, I guess we'll just, related to that, where would you say they're from? Like, any one particular
right.
area, or?
I mean, obviously the majority of them are going to be from the United States. We've found that like Texas has a really big Blimey Cow following, as well as Colorado, which is pretty cool because those are two of my favorite places to visit, and California, and obviously like Tennessee, since that's kind of where we're from, and Canada obviously is another big one. And then it's kind of just spread out from there, all like smaller percentages. Australia and the United Kingdom and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, there's a few from Australia. I've met 2 of them.
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Okay, next one, we'll sort of switch gears a little bit. What has the experience of using sponsors been like? Are a lot of businesses enthusiastic about having YouTube promotion? Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when you get in touch with sponsors, they're already on board with YouTube, but sometimes you have to like get them excited about it. So sometimes we'll structure a sponsorship kind of like, hey, we'll do this for free and just kind of see how it goes. If it's not worth your time, don't worry about it. If it is, maybe we can do another one sometime. So it's all about like, I was talking earlier about how things are changing so quickly, and a lot of times, companies, who need to be conservative with their money, are hesitant to get on board with kind of where things are going, and because they know that in the past, these other things have worked, but those things don't work as well anymore. Just because where the audiences are for what they're trying to sell, they've moved, and so it's kind of an interesting thing. A lot of times there are different like ad agencies that we've been in touch with, and they'll bring us new sponsors, but sometimes I'll just email companies that I like or that I use, and just tell them about what we do, and that we'd be really excited if they wanted to sponsor some of our content. And 95% of the time you never hear back, but 5% of the time you do, and it's very easy to send emails, so that's a really, really great return on investment, especially since we would do our videos. It's a great source of income because obviously we would do our videos every week regardless of if anybody sponsored them or not. So it's like, to me it feels like free money, you know what I mean? Because like I'm gonna do it regardless.
True.
If you want me to record a 30-second spot telling people to go check out your company or whatever, and then pay me to do that, well, okay, that's an extra 30 seconds of my week. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat thing. So it's a really cool thing to have kind of like acquired an audience, and like for people to like pay for the quote unquote privilege of like being given an audience in front of those people. That's probably a terrible way to word that, but you know what I'm saying. Like, to kind of have your product in front of all those people. So it's just really cool. It's a really neat thing.
Quick question. Does your audience ever get like annoyed with the advertisements that you may put up in the end of your videos?
They used to. I think at this point they've gotten used to it. We try to do it in a non-intrusive way, so it just happens right at the beginning for like 5 seconds, and then at the conclusion of the video, then there's like a quick. We try to make the ad like entertaining or whatever, and kind of relate it to what we talked about in the video or something like that, just for fun. Um, but some companies don't really like that you do that. They kind of want it to be played more straight rather than funny.
Mm.
Um, but some companies don't care, and they appreciate that, like, oh, okay, this will probably engage more people if you kind of like keep it the same kind of tone or whatever. But other companies are like, no, no, just make it more about like your experience with the product and stuff like that. So it just depends. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. But yeah, I don't think most people get annoyed with it anymore. I think most of those people already dropped off or realize that, like, hey, well, I get to watch this for free, so if somebody is willing to pay them to make it, then great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you guys use like sort of advertise stuff that you like too, so it's sort of
Right. Yeah, we like there's been a couple of heartbreakers where we've had to like say no or whatever, and I'm
yeah.
like, dang it.
Yeah, it's like free money but no.
Right. It's like you don't want to sully people's trust in what you're talking about or whatever, so
Yeah.
where it would just be clear, it's like, hey, we're getting paid to say this. Clearly, we do not use this product, but if we could say it like that, like, hey, we are being paid this week to advertise this thing. We don't use it, but they gave us a lot of money.
The advertisers would
Yeah,
be like,
basically.
oh,
Yeah, exactly.
very cool. Let's see, what one are we on? Okay, here. So you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we'll sort of expand on it. So one of the businesses, obviously, that's sort of like not just about YouTube, but is sort of springboard off of YouTube is Patreon.
Yeah.
So yeah, what has your experience been on Patreon? Like, how is it? Like benefits, cons?
Yeah. Oh man, like literally no cons to Patreon. Like it's been such a huge freaking blessing. Not only because like I mean, I don't know what to say for it. I mean, I've already talked about like the community that it's built or whatever. So
Yeah.
so that's obviously like that's the coolest part to me or whatever. But from like a community standpoint, but from like a business standpoint, Patreon is like um the most consistent income that we get. 'Cause, I always say it like this: like if one or two of our sponsors drop off, that's like a significant amount of our yearly income that's gone. But if one or two patrons drop off, there's like 200 other ones that are still there. You know what I mean? So like, I love crowdsourcing stuff like that, and it's really neat. And it's been great too because like I'll give an example that like the other day, we put up this video about Christian pickup lines, and kind of getting your stuff on Facebook, getting Facebook to like show the stuff you're posting to the people that like your page has become more difficult over time. And so I was like, maybe we could make some like memes of some of the different pickup lines, but I didn't want to have to sit there for an hour and do it. So I just posted in the little creative team group we have for our Patreon people on Facebook. And asked if anybody would be willing to make the memes or whatever. And within like 2 seconds, someone's like, "Hey, I want to do it. I want to do it." And so they gave it to me like within a couple of hours, and I didn't. That was like saved me a bunch of time. So it's just really cool. Like, not only is it like financial help, but it's also like support and stuff too. Like, people just it's like people want to be involved in what we're doing or whatnot. And so that's really neat. I have to remember that a lot of the time or whatever is that people just like want to help. So it's really cool. Like it's just been a really neat thing, and the people that run Patreon are like some of the nicest people in the entire world. They're super kind, and super generous, and like super patient with their time, and being willing to help with anything you need and getting back with you quickly and stuff. Yeah, I love Patreon so much. I wish that I had known about them before anything with them had started, so I could have like invested in their company, because like I have like so much faith that like they're gonna be like a really big thing one day, just because the people that run it are like uh, so level-headed and so kind with the way it's just like to me like that means that they're going to succeed because they have such great business attitudes and just kindness about them or whatever. Like it's like even if you fail financially, I'm glad to have like it's the same kind of idea with Patreon. It's like, hey, I just want to support you guys. I'm not expecting a return on this investment other than like the happiness I get from having helped somebody that I trust. You know what I mean? So anyways, it's just a really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it Patreon sort of enhanced your guys' community. Like before it
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of like I always remember like liking before Patreon was like you guys are so engaged in your community, and now it's kind of just like grown from there, like
Right.
gotten really tight knit.
Right. It was mostly just Twitter. Like that was the main place people talked, I feel like. But now there's like a little community like, hey, we're like the people that like within 2 seconds the video is posted, we want to see it or whatever. You know what I mean? So now there's a place for all those people. Um, so it's really neat. And it's cool like that people that like our videos or whatever kind of like, because I don't know, like I feel like it takes a certain kind of person to enjoy our videos, and so I feel like those kind of people like get along with each other. So it's kind of like you have like this common bond through just kind of getting the humor or whatever we're going for with our videos and stuff. So it's just been really, really neat. I think that's been the coolest part of this whole thing is just seeing all the patrons become friends and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen it with other channels for sure. Like, there's some I haven't met another like. There's YouTube channels with very committed followings, but yours in particular, I've always been really surprised with. Like, it's
Yeah,
very cool.
it feels like a different thing somehow, but I don't really know how to like quantify it. It's just a really neat thing.
Yeah. All right, we're on our last question here. If someone was considering a career on YouTube, what's some like advice or different things you would tell them?
I would say don't plan on a career on YouTube. Just like make videos because you enjoy doing it. Like I was saying earlier, like even if we weren't getting paid to make videos, we didn't have a Patreon, we didn't have sponsors, we would still make videos because when we're not making videos, we want to be making videos, and so it's just a thing we got to do. Sometimes we get kind of exhausted from doing it or like, man, I don't know what to do for this week, but it's like a thing of like, well, the alternative is to not do it and to wish we were doing it. So it's like, you just kind of take the hills with the valleys or whatnot, and yeah, so just I don't know. If you want to do YouTube, just find something you can do consistently, either consistently or something that people enjoy enough that like they want more of, even if it takes you a long time to put it together. My buddy Kevin has a channel where he just does like Christian movie reviews basically, and he tries to keep to a consistent schedule with it, but they take a lot of work for him to put together. And but it's okay. The audience is always there for it because his audience really, really, really enjoys those videos. So and he really, really loves putting them together, even though the return on his investment is like terrible for those videos. Right? He puts like 100 hours into each one of those, and he doesn't make like hardly anything from them. You know what I mean? So, but the return on his investment is that he's personally fulfilled and is a happier person because he's doing something he loves to do, and people are benefiting from it based on the comments he receives and stuff like that. So it's been really good, and a lot of YouTube is like investing for the future too, right? So like when we first started our channel, we made like 6 months worth of content before like really anybody was watching. But when we had a video that blew up, well, now we had like a bunch of videos that people could go back and watch, and it worked really well in terms of like getting us new subscribers and stuff because people were seeing that one video and saying, wait, why haven't I heard of these guys? Do they have more videos? And so they were like going through and watching all of our old stuff. And so I think that's kind of the play that Kevin is trying as well, is basically like, look, I'm gonna just put all this time into these videos, hoping that one day I do something that a lot of people want to watch all at once, and then people can go back and say, wow, holy crap, he's been really committed and dedicated to what he does for a really long time. But at the same time, like if that never happens, he still gets this personal fulfillment from doing this show. But yeah, like short answer, I wouldn't like plan on a career on YouTube because it's like, I mean, we started our channel in like 2005, and I didn't like start doing it full time until like 2015. So it's like it was like 10 years later. So and plus it was easier even like 4 years ago to have a video blow up just because of the way that Facebook, was sharing YouTube posts and stuff like that, and whereas they don't do that anymore. So it's a lot more about like community building, even more than it was a few years ago. And again, like kind of always going back to the idea of like things are changing so rapidly. It's hard to have a video blow up on YouTube these days. But I would just say find something you enjoy doing and just enjoy doing it. Don't worry so much about the views or the analytics or whatever. That's a lesson I've had to learn. It's like don't look every day at your analytics and like, if you're getting less views this month than you did last month, then just kind of assess like, okay, well, did I enjoy what I was doing this month? Because if I'm enjoying doing it, then it's okay. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know. That's just what I always tell people when they ask me about like doing YouTube full time. I'm like, this is like 100% a fluke. Like, it's something we fell into, and I'm just like so honored and blessed by it. But like, there's not like a formula to it at all. It's just a thing that happened. You know what I mean? And so I'll do what I can to like try and encourage people and help people out to like get started on YouTube or whatever. But just understand, it just kind of is what it is. It's more about having fun doing it than it is about making money from doing it.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it's kind of a random occurrence sometimes. Like you don't really know when a video is gonna blow up.
If we had started our channel now, I don't think that the same thing it would have played out the same way. You know what I mean? Like it's different now than it was even a few years ago. So yeah, a lot of things fell into place for us. I consider myself very blessed.
Yeah, I'm curious if YouTube, because I know you mentioned that you would do videos regardless of like if anything like you got paid for it or whatever. Where do you think you would, if YouTube didn't exist, where do you think you would put it? Like,
Vimeo, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we started making videos under the name Blimey Cow like as soon as I realized you could upload videos to the internet. Like I was waiting for that thing to happen. I was just at first it was like, man, I wish I could edit videos. Oh, wow, holy crap, now there's consumer editing content or consumer editing software. That's great. And so that was like a couple of years before. And so I started editing videos and stuff and really having no place to put them. And then I found out about Google Video. It's just funny. Like it's so weird how quickly things change. Like I remember searching for a place you could put video content on the internet, but I was searching for it on Yahoo because Google wasn't really a thing yet, hardly. Yahoo still had that market, and so it's just funny because on Yahoo I came across Google Video, where YouTube actually did exist at the time. It wasn't showing up in Yahoo's search or whatever, and so we started on Google Video first, and it was terrible. Like you had to actually upload a separate piece of software to upload your videos to their server, and then they would show up on the website. It was terrible. And so as soon as I found out about YouTube, I was like, oh crap, now I have all these videos on Google Video, and I really want to be on YouTube. It looks so much easier. And so I remember there was just this day, like 9 months later, where I was just like, I'm just gonna take one day and just upload everything. So like there's like 20 or 25 or 30 of our videos, at our very first videos that I'll say they were like uploaded on the same day or whatever. So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, and then Google bought out YouTube later.
Exactly. It all really came together.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I mean, I think that's all of our questions. And Susan, you have anything else?
This is fun.
Yeah, I think we covered everything that I want to ask.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Sounds very good. Thank you again, Josh, so much.
You're welcome. Do you want me to send you what I have of my side of it or anything?
Sure. I mean, if Dropbox is easy for you, I have Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever.
Yeah, I can send it on Dropbox.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Oh, and I sent you the infographic thing that I did for the meetup.
Oh, yes. I didn't get to look at that yet.
No worries. I just wanted to let you know I was done.
Okay, very good. Awesome. I'm going to go look at that right now then.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Josh.
All right, talk to you guys later. Nice to meet you, Susan.
Bye.
Nice to meet you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.